If you think Zoom is the Zoom from 2020, then this video is for you. I'm Betsy, and I've been on Zoom every day for years, and I'm the one showing you how to use Zoom to grow business performance. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can see everyone in a Zoom meeting, and I'm going to walk you through step by step all the different views from speaker view to gallery view to dynamic gallery view. That's a new one for 2026, as well as Immersive View and when to use each one. Okay, let's jump in. So it all starts here inside the Zoom meeting. Now, depending on whether you are the host or a participant attending, the bar here along the bottom looks different. If you're the host, you know that you're the host. Well, you're leading the meeting. You have some extra tools. If you're the host, you have host tools. And if you don't see host tools, you go to that more button. You will have different tools in here like breakout rooms and polls and quizzes if you are the host. Now, whether or not you are the host or the participant, you have a menu in the top right corner which contains all of these different views. If you click up there, that is showing you, actually, the icon is showing you that you're in speaker view. You'll see that speaker view has a specific icon representing it. This, by the way, is for the 2026 version. So you want to make sure, if you're not seeing what I'm seeing right now, that you definitely update your Zoom. You might need to update your Zoom Workplace app. That's what we're in right now. This is the application. So if you haven't done that, just pause this video, go and update your computer, and then you'll have this version, the latest version. Now, as time goes on, Zoom will update more and more, and we will keep you up to date here. So definitely subscribe to our channel, and we'll keep you informed. Each of the views you can see has a different icon. And so in speaker view, that's where the person making the noise in the meeting is taking up most of the view on the screen, and everybody else is displayed along the top. In gallery view, when you click there, the people attending the meeting are displayed in these video thumbnails, which are these rectangles, and it shows their background, it shows their natural background, their virtual background, or it shows their profile pictures. As you can see in this example, we have some people attending who are off video. With gallery view, there is a maximum number of participants per screen. So if you have more than 25 people in your meeting, you might need to swipe from left to right, and you would see arrows on either sides of your monitor. Some computers and their attached computer monitors let you see up to 49 participants, and that setting is in your video settings. If you need more information for that, definitely take a look at our video on the beginner's guide to Zoom and the 2026 version in particular. Another importance about gallery view is when someone in the meeting is sharing their screen, you won't necessarily see everyone across the screen from left to right. You will see the share in progress, which would be either the person's presentation or a video or a website, whatever content they're currently sharing. And then the gallery is going to be displayed in another part of the screen. And that depends on a couple of factors. It depends on whether you are in full screen or not. It depends on whether you are in side-by-side view or not. And those also can be found on the view menu. So when you go up there, you can see all the way down at the bottom, there is an option that says full screen. That will send you into full screen like this. When you are in full screen, the actual toolbars from your computer, so if you're on a Mac computer, your dock and maybe your Apple menu at the top, or your Windows taskbar if you're on a Windows computer, those are temporarily hidden. And in full screen, you can't see anything else that's on your screen. And you could be in full screen in speaker view by just changing that again. So you see now I'm in speaker view, and now the gallery is floating like this. That's only when you're in full screen. And this gallery right here can be moved around by putting your pointer up in that bar at the top. You actually see that there's 4 buttons up there. Those 4 buttons at the top do let you change the way this floating gallery looks. So you could hide it completely with the first button. You could see just the active speaker. You could see what's called this strip of thumbnails, or you can show a grid. And when you show a grid, you're going to go to those bottom corners and just slide that out. I'm still here. This will show you all of the people depending on how big it is. And the importance of this is that when you are in a Zoom meeting, you might not even need to see the gallery. And so you can just shrink this to a point where it is off the screen, and then you have room for other things to look at. Some people, when they're in a Zoom meeting, need more room on the sides of their screen, especially if you're only using one monitor. And so this is a great tip. If you are finding that your gallery disappears or even your presentation disappears when you are sharing, you may want to exit full screen. And now you know if your screen looks like this, then you're in full screen. If you're not sure, then click at the top on your view menu and you see now it says exit full screen. And so when you click there, now your Zoom meeting window is not covering everything else. And you'll see just in this recording, I'm recording on a Mac right now, and at the very bottom is the dock for the Mac computer. Or if you were on a Windows computer, it would be your Windows taskbar. And that is shown along the bottom. So it gives you a lot of flexibility when you're not in full screen. So the next view is called Dynamic Gallery, and that's new to us in 2026. Now watch this. When we click on Dynamic Gallery, what Zoom is going to do, it's going to consolidate everyone in the gallery and focus on their faces. Watch this. So this is a version of Dynamic Gallery. You can see on the right, I am in this room on my phone. So that's why you see me twice. It's just down there. And so it's picking up a different angle. In front of me is the computer I'm recording on. And then we have Kyle here with us. So this is a version of your Dynamic Gallery. And this would be fantastic for, let's say, interview style Zoom meetings. The next view is Multi-Speaker View. In multi-speaker view, the screen is divided. The bottom part are the people who are not speaking, and the top part up here are the people who are speaking. And what it does is it visually gives you this presentation mode, or as if you had a stage and you had the people who were speaking up on stage up here, and the people who were attending or watching from the audience were down in the bottom area with smaller video thumbnails. So just remember, when we talk about video thumbnails, we're talking about this rectangle, this shape, which shows the person's live video, or maybe it's just showing their profile picture. So for instance, if someone were to ask a question like this,
Hey Betsy, I have a question. How can I turn this avatar off?
so you can see here when someone in the audience asks a question, their video thumbnail is brought to the top. Now, in this instance, this person's question has to do with that avatar. And yes, inside Zoom, you can do fun things like make yourself look like an avatar. And this cartoon character is kind of fun. You can do this in certain activities, but sometimes it's a little difficult to remember how you got there and how to turn it off. So here's this one quick tip. If you want to turn off your avatar, you're going to go to your video menu and then click on video effects. And along your video effects, you'll see an avatar tab. And that's where you make sure you click none. And if you want to know more information about this new way of turning on your avatars and turning them off using the 2026 version of Zoom, make sure you take a look at our beginner's guide, and that link is in the description. When the person stops speaking, Zoom dynamically lowers them from the stage back down to the what we're going to call that virtual audience. And again, visibly, they're brought up to the top when they talk or back down to the bottom when they're not talking. And you don't have to do a thing. You just lead the discussion and Zoom will do the work for you. The next view is called Immersive View. Now, in this view, Zoom has provided for you different virtual backgrounds, and it actually makes it look like the people attending are in seats in that virtual background. Like literally, you could make it look like your gallery of people are in a classroom. They're actually in a classroom with their individual seats. Watch this. So when I click on Immersive, here you see a menu. of the different immersive views. And in the corner of each of the options, it tells you how many people it will handle. So in this first one, the art gallery, there are 5 different spots. So for a gallery of 5 people, it'll look like they're on the wall like this. In this view, Zoom lets you place all of the different people in a virtual setting. And you could cycle through these for fun. To change immersive views, you're going to click on that view menu and then click on Leave Immersive View. And then that brings you back to the main screen. To pick up your next immersive view, choose it from the view menu and then make a different selection. So for instance, here's one with 2 people. In this immersive view, Zoom has a seat for 2 of the people. And Kyle and I, well, we both have our videos on right now. So we got first dibs at the seats here. Everybody else is off video. So they're not given the option. Okay, so this is where in order to switch, you have to go up to that view menu and choose Leave Immersive View. Note that immersive views are for the host only. So you are in control of the scenery. In addition to the different views that you can choose from the view menu so that you can see everyone in the Zoom meeting, you can also arrange the gallery in a specific order. So when you go up there to the view menu, you'll see that there's an option that says Sort Gallery By. Now take note, if you're not seeing these options, first of all, you may not be the host. And second of all, your Zoom might not be updated. So definitely go and update your Zoom Workplace app. And if you need instructions for that, we have the link to that video in the description. So now when you click on Sort Gallery By, you have choices. You can sort everybody by first name in ascending order, A to Z, or in first name order from Z to A. So Zoom is going to use the first character of their name. If you needed to sort everybody in last name order, you can do that as well. Now, sometimes people don't name themselves appropriately in here, and so that's going to be effective. If you choose last name order from A to Z and it doesn't look like people are sorted correctly, make sure at the beginning of your meeting you ask people to rename themselves. People can rename themselves by using the participants list. They just choose participants from the toolbar and then hover over their own name and then click on the 3 dots. There's going to be an item there that says rename. If you want to move people around in the gallery based on a manual order, like you know that certain people need to speak in a certain order and you want to see them in that order on your screen, then you're just going to take your pointer and you're going to click and drag and you're going to move them into place. Once you get them into place, then you can see them and call them by name order. If you want everybody in the meeting to see that order, then you're going to go up to the view menu and choose Follow Host's Video Order. What this does is it changes everybody's gallery order on their screens as well. And so they're going to see the order and then they're going to get an idea of when you're going to call their name. When you want to go back to everyone's screen being the way that it was when they entered the meeting, then you can say Release Video Order. And it goes back the way that it was in the beginning. Rounding out our view menu and this is for hosts only. So it's a really great tip to know that if you're a host, you can change the theme. You can choose Classic, which is the black color. You can choose Bloom, which is the blue color. Agave, which is the green color, and Rose, which is that beautiful maroon color. And this just is for you to change up the design. There is also a way to set the meeting wallpaper, and that lets you pick a different kind of gradient or graphic like that. And that's another way to change the way your meeting looks. Keep in mind that when you're using the themes and you're using wallpaper, that participants on other devices may not see exactly what you're seeing. So if they're on a mobile device or a computer, or they're on older versions of Zoom, they may not be seeing exactly what you are demonstrating. If you want everyone to be in the same level, then when you invite them into your Zoom meeting, let them know that they need to update their Zoom workplace, and they can easily do that with the instructions that I've provided in my YouTube video. So feel free to share that with all of your audiences. The last 4 options in our view menu talk about what you're seeing. So if you don't want to see yourself, you can hide your self view, and then you can bring it back with show self view. If you want to hide the people who are not on video, you can do that. Hide non-video participants, and then you will only see the people who are on video. Keep in mind that your participant number will always show every participant that's in the meeting. You can bring them back with show non-video participants. And then you can hide the meeting timers. So the meeting timers are timers that only show up for you, and you can show them. And notice in the very top right corner, there is a bar of symbols. There is a green shield, which indicates whether encryption is on. That's a setting by Zoom to let you know that everyone in this meeting is meeting that criteria. If it's amber colored, then someone is attending who is not meeting those encryption settings. The flashing little sort of notepad next to that tells me that my transcription is running. So I'm going to get a meeting transcript at the end of this, which is part of the built-in AI companion. And you'll want to make sure those settings are on before you start your meeting. And then it gives you automatic meeting notes. The button next to that tells me that I'm currently recording to the cloud. If I wanted to, I could pause it or stop it. And there's my meeting timer. The meeting timer is just for me to see, to tell me how long I've been in the meeting. And then the sparkle, that diamond-shaped icon, is telling me that AI Companion is currently on in this meeting. And people can ask questions, which let them know what they have missed or if their name has been mentioned. And then a meeting summary will be generated at the end of this meeting. And finally, in that upper left corner of the screen, you'll see that there are 2 tabs. I'll call them that. The first one is in blue on my screen that you're seeing here, and it says meeting. And that means right now I'm viewing the meeting. But see, right now, to give you this recording, I have a screen share going on. And so what they would be seeing, and I want you to think in terms of a meeting where a person has a screen sharing progress, like they're showing their presentation. A lot of Zoom meetings, they're showing their PowerPoint, their Google slide, their Canva presentation, or their video, or a website. And what you'll be seeing at the top is the person's name. You would be seeing Betsy Sabatini's screen. What that is helpful for is that at any time during the presentation, you can swap between those 2. You can look at the meeting, which is the gallery of people, or you can go back to the presenter's screen share. That's how to see everyone in different views on Zoom and how to choose the right one for viewing your meeting. If this helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out the rest of my Zoom tutorials below. And if you want to feel more confident using Zoom without guessing where things went, you're in the right place. And I'll see you in the next video.